When we broke up, he took the keys away from me.
You were supposed to take care of the car.
Being co-buyers wasn't so smart.
He's being late on his payment, and now my credit is being affected.
That's why people don't buy cars together when they're not married.
And one ex didn't think it all through.
You don't expect her to pay for a car that you're using. I mean, that would be stupid. Does this face look stupid to you?
This is Judge Judy.
In the bustling courtroom of Judge Judy, where the air hums with anticipation, a case unfolds that strikes at the heart of impulsive decisions and tangled relationships. Ms. Lau, a woman with a determined gaze, stands at the plaintiff's podium. In Connecticut's small claims court, her voice steady but laced with frustration. Across from her is Mr. Pierce, her former partner, his posture defensive as he clutches a stack of documents. At the center of their dispute is a 2017 Ford Explorer, a vehicle that was meant to unite their blended family, but has instead become a symbol of regret. The announcer's voice booms. Being co-buyers wasn't so smart, setting the stage for a clash over money, responsibility, and trust. With the title in Ms. Lau's name but Mr. Pierce in possession of the car, the question looms: who bears the cost of their shared mistake? As Judge Judy leans forward, her piercing eyes scanning both parties, the audience is drawn into a tale of financial folly that promises sharp exchanges and a hard lesson. The case begins with Ms. Lau's grievance. She claims that Mr. Pierce, after their breakup in 2017, took the keys to the Ford Explorer and left her saddled with unpaid car taxes amounting to $1,286.67. When we broke up, he took the keys away from me, she declares, her tone tinged with indignation. He stated that it's his car. Her words paint a picture of betrayal, suggesting that Mr. Pierce assumed control of the vehicle without her consent. Yet, as Judge Judy probes, the narrative grows murky. The car, purchased in May 2017, was a joint decision to accommodate their large family, Ms. Lau's 2 children, Mr. Pierce's 3, and the one they share. But Ms. Luffy insists, "I wanted a car for myself, not for us, for the family." This revelation sparks a sharp retort from Judge Judy. "I don't know why you think that helps you, but it doesn't." The audience chuckles, sensing the plaintiff's misstep. Judge Judy, with her trademark blend of wit and authority, swiftly lays out the facts. You traded in your 2002 Jeep Liberty, and you both used the Ford Explorer for a while, she states, her voice cutting through Ms. Lau's hesitations. The loan, however, binds both parties, and the title rests solely in Ms. Lau's name. This detail becomes a flashpoint. Mr. Pierce, who has been driving or, as he claims, parking the car since their separation, argues he's been making payments. "I've been paying it," he insists, though he admits to late payments. Ms. Lau counters, "He's being late on his payment, and now my credit is being affected." The stakes are clear. Ms. Lau seeks reimbursement for the taxes, but the deeper issue is the financial entanglement that threatens her future. The courtroom tension escalates as Judge Judy dismantles the couple's arrangement. "If you didn't report the car stolen in 2017, then he was using your car with your permission," she asserts, her tone leaving no room for debate. Ms. Lau's attempts to explain, "He took the keys, and I was going to call the cops," are met with a stern rebuke. "You're not helping yourself." The judge's logic is unyielding. Since Ms. Lau didn't report the car as stolen, Mr. Pierce's use of it implies her consent, complicating her claim. The audience leans in, captivated by the back and forth. Will Ms. Lau's emotional pleas sway the court, or will Judge Judy's razor-sharp reasoning expose her contradictions? Beyond the courtroom, the case resonates with universal themes. In Connecticut, where car registration requires biennial fees, unpaid taxes can spiral, as they did here, from $1,032 to $1,286.67. The Ford Explorer, purchased for $40,000 with a remaining balance of $28,000, represents a significant burden for a couple no longer united. Judge Judy's warning, "That's why people don't buy cars together when they're not married," echoes through the room. A cautionary tale for anyone tempted by shared financial ventures without legal protection. The announcer's quip, "And one ex didn't think it all through," underscores Ms. Lau's predicament, as her decision to co-sign the loan now jeopardizes regret. As the first segment of this dispute closes, the courtroom buzzes with unresolved questions. Why did Ms. Lau allow Mr. Pierce to keep the car for 2 years without protest? Can Mr. Pierce justify his claim that the car has been parked, unused, while he foots the bill? The case is far from simple, and Judge Judy's impatience signals more revelations to come. For now, the audience is hooked, eager to see how this tale of love, loss, and a pricey SUV unfolds. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Ms. Lau should have reported the car stolen, or is Mr. Pierce in the right for taking control? Comment 1 for Ms. Lau, 0 for Mr. Pierce. Asterisk. The courtroom of Judge Judy pulses with unresolved tension as Ms. Lau and Mr. Pierce face off over their ill-fated Ford Explorer, a 2017 SUV that has become a monument to their fractured relationship. In Hartford, Connecticut, where this small claims battle unfolds, the stakes are not just financial but deeply personal. The announcer's earlier words, "Being co-buyers wasn't so smart," linger, framing the couple's saga as a cautionary tale. Part 1 laid bare the core dispute. Ms. Lau seeks $1,286.67 in unpaid car taxes, claiming Mr. Pierce took the vehicle after their 2017 breakup, while he insists he's been making payments. Now the focus shifts to the turbulent history of their relationship, a roller coaster of love, separation, and fleeting reconciliation that set the stage for this legal clash. As Judge Judy leans forward, her sharp gaze dissecting every word, the audience is drawn deeper into a story of trust, betrayal, and the messy aftermath of shared dreams. The relationship between Ms. Lau and Mr. Pierce began with promise. In 2015, they met in Hartford, two single parents navigating the challenges of raising children from previous relationships, Ms. Lau with 2, Mr. Pierce with 3. By 2016, they were living together in a modest 2-story home on Elm Street, their lives intertwining as they welcomed a child together. "We were a family," Ms. Lau recalls, her voice softening momentarily before hardening. "We thought the Ford Explorer would make things easier." The decision to trade in Ms. Lau's 2002 Jeep Liberty for the $40,000 SUV in May 2017 was a joint one, driven by the need for space to ferry their 6 children to school, sports, and family outings. But beneath the surface, cracks were forming. Judge Judy, piecing together the timeline, notes, "You were together in 2017 when you bought the car, correct?" Ms. Lau nods, but her hesitation hints at the storm to come. The couple's breakup in July 2017, just 2 months after the car purchase, marked the first fracture. "We officially broke up 2 months after we got the car," Mr. Pierce explains, his tone matter-of-fact. Yet, the separation was far from clean. Ms. Lau remained in their shared home until November, moving out in December. "I left the house," she admits, correcting her earlier narrative. This detail draws a raised eyebrow from Judge Judy, who presses, "You left. How did he get the car?" Ms. Lau's response, "We lived together, so," trails off, revealing the chaotic overlap of their lives. The Ford Explorer, titled in Ms. Lau's name but used by both, became a point of contention. Mr. Pierce, who kept the keys, began driving it, or as he claims, parking it, while Ms. Lau focused on rebuilding her life. Their story grows more convoluted with a brief reconciliation. "We got back together in May, broke back up in July," Mr. Pierce reveals, adding that Ms. Lau moved back in during May 2018 before leaving again in August. This on-again, off-again dynamic muddled their responsibilities. During their reunion, Mr. Pierce promised to handle the car's taxes and payments, a vow Ms. Lau now cites as broken. He said he was going to take me out of the loan and pay the car taxes, she insists, her frustration palpable. Judge Judy, unimpressed, snaps, "Well, I can't make him take you out of the loan." The audience murmurs, sensing the futility of Ms. Lau's hopes. The loan, binding both to a $28,000 balance, remains a shared burden, with the bank unwilling to release Ms. Lau without a court order. The relationship's volatility underscores the dispute's complexity. Imagine the Hartford home where this drama played out. A cluttered living room filled with children's toys. The Ford Explorer parked in the driveway, a symbol of their once united front. During their brief reconciliation, picture Ms. Lau and Mr. Pierce at the kitchen table, debating who would drive the SUV to pick up the kids. These moments, though not in the transcript, add humanity to their conflict, showing how love and practicality collided. Ms. Lau's decision to let Mr. Pierce keep the car post-breakup, hoping he'd honor their agreement, reflects her trust misplaced. As it turned out, Mr. Pierce, meanwhile, saw the car as his domain, especially as he continued payments, albeit late. Judge Judy's probing reveals the couple's failure to communicate. "When I left, everything was sent to him," Ms. Lau says, referring to registration notices sent to Mr. Pierce's address. "He never notified me about anything." Mr. Pierce counters, "She moved back in, so that might be why." His explanation falters, and Judge Judy's patience wears thin. "I suggest you go to motor vehicles," she says, cutting through the excuses. The courtroom buzzes as the audience absorbs the messages of their arrangement. The Ford Explorer, meant to unify their family, became a battleground when love faded, leaving Ms. Luo tethered to a loan and taxes she no longer controls. The broader context amplifies the stakes. In Connecticut, car taxes are tied to registration, renewed every 2 years. The unpaid $1,286.67 reflects Mr. Pierce's neglect, which Ms. Lau discovered when she tried to register her new car, only to find her payment diverted to the Explorer's taxes. Judge Judy's warning, "That's why people don't buy cars together when they're not married," resonates as a universal truth, echoed by her quip, "Does this face look stupid to you?" The audience laughs, but the lesson is sobering. Financial entanglements without legal commitment invite chaos. As Part 2 closes, questions linger. How did the couple's fleeting reconciliation shape their handling of the car? Will Mr. Pierce's claim of parking the SUV hold up, or is it a deflection? The case teeters on the edge of deeper revelations, with Judge Judy's gavel poised to deliver clarity. Share your thoughts below. Do you think Ms. Lau was naive to trust Mr. Pierce with the car? Or should he have been more transparent? Comment 1 for Ms. Lau, 0 for Mr. Pierce. The Judge Judy courtroom crackles with intensity as Ms. Lau and Mr. Pierce continue their battle over a 2017 Ford Explorer, a vehicle that has morphed from a family necessity into a legal quagmire. In Hartford, Connecticut, where this small claims dispute unfolds, the air is thick with accusations and counterclaims. Part 2 traced the turbulent relationship that led to this moment: love, breakups, and a fleeting reconciliation that muddled their responsibilities. Now the focus shifts to the heart of the conflict: who truly owns and controls the SUV, and who should bear the burden of its unpaid taxes and registration. As Judge Judy's piercing gaze cuts through the excuses, her voice sharp with impatience, the audience is riveted by a tale of disputed possession and financial fallout. "You don't expect her to pay for a car that you're using," Judge Judy snaps at Mr. Pierce. "Does this face look stupid to you?" The question hangs, drawing laughter and setting the stage for a deeper dive into ownership and accountability. At the core of the dispute is the Ford Explorer's title, registered solely in Ms. Lau's name, though both she and Mr. Pierce are bound by the $40,000 loan. With $28,000 still owed, Ms. Lau's grievance is clear. Mr. Pierce took the car after their 2017 breakup, leaving her to face $1,286.67 in unpaid taxes. He took the keys away from me, she insists, her voice edged with resentment. He stated that it's his car. Her claim suggests a near theft, yet her failure to report the car stolen undermines her narrative. Judge Judy pounces on this. If you didn't report the car stolen in 2017, then he was using your car with your permission. Ms. Lau's attempts to protest, he took them, and I was going to call the cops, are met with a stern rebuke. You're not helping yourself. The audience leans in, sensing her argument unraveling under the judge's relentless logic. Mr. Pierce, meanwhile, defends his possession of the car. I've been paying it, he says, referring to the loan payments, though he admits to delays. The car hasn't been driven. It's been parked, but I've been paying it. His claim draws skepticism from Judge Judy, who retorts, I don't believe that a perfectly good car you've left parked someplace for 2 years while you're making the payments on it. Her disbelief is palpable, and the audience murmurs, questioning Mr. Pierce's story. Why would he pay for an unused vehicle while owning another? I have another vehicle, he explains, citing his delivery job's demands. But Judge Judy dismisses this. I don't care whether you have 10 vehicles. You're not making payments on a car that you or your girlfriend don't drive. The mention of a girlfriend, unscripted in the transcript, but a courtroom surprise, adds a layer of intrigue, hinting at new dynamics in Mr. Pierce's life. The issue of registration further complicates the dispute. In Connecticut, cars must be registered every 2 years, with taxes tied to the process. The Explorer's registration expired in May 2019, and Mr. Pierce claims he can't renew it because the title is in Ms. Lau's name. I was told by the bank that only a judge's court order would take her off the title, he says, frustration creeping into his voice. Ms. Lau, however, argues that the taxes accrued under her name because Mr. Pierce failed to pay them. It's getting taxed under my name, so he's stating now that I need to pay the taxes, she says. I feel like it's not my responsibility. Her point resonates. Why should she bear costs for a car she doesn't possess? Yet, Judge Judy clarifies the tax amount. The only tax due is $1,286, not $2,000. This correction refocuses the dispute on a precise figure, grounding the argument in facts. The ownership question is tangled by practical realities. Ms. Lau holds the title, but the bank retains it due to the outstanding loan, a common arrangement for financed vehicles. The bank has the title, Mr. Pierce confirms, highlighting their limited control. Judge Judy notes, they're not going to let her off the loan, underscoring the bank's refusal to release Ms. Lau without full repayment or a court order. This binds both parties, but Mr. Pierce's possession of the car shifts the responsibility. To him, you have the car, Judge Judy states. You have to register it. Her directive is clear, but Ms. Lau's reluctance to cooperate, citing Mr. Pierce's failure to notify her of registration notices, adds friction. Everything was sent to his house, she says. He never notified me about anything. The audience senses a communication breakdown that has fueled this standoff. Creatively, picture the Hartford DMV where Ms. Lau discovered the tax issue. Her heart sinking as a clerk explained that her payment for a new car was diverted to the Explorer's taxes. Imagine Mr. Pierce parking the SUV in a cramped garage, its once shiny exterior gathering dust, while he drives a battered sedan for work. These details, though not in the transcript, add texture, making their conflict relatable. The courtroom, with its stark fluorescent lights and packed gallery, mirrors the pressure of their choices. Judge Judy's quip, "That's why people don't buy cars together when they're not married," echoes as a warning, while her humor keeps viewers engaged. The case's stakes, ownership, responsibility, and fairness resonate with anyone who's navigated a shared purchase gone wrong. As Part 3 draws to a close, the dispute over the Ford Explorer remains unresolved. Will Ms. Luo cooperate with Mr. Pierce to register the car, or will her resentment block progress? Can Mr. Pierce prove he's acted in good faith, or is his claim of an unused car a deflection? The audience is hooked, eager for Judge Judy's next move. Share your thoughts below. Do you think Ms. Lau should help with registration since her name is on the title? Or is Mr. Pierce solely responsible for the taxes? Comment 1 for Ms. Luo, 0 for Mr. Pierce. The Judge Judy courtroom in Hartford, Connecticut hums with anticipation as Ms. Luo and Mr. Pierce's dispute over a 2017 Ford Explorer reaches a critical juncture. The black SUV, once a symbol of their blended family's aspirations, now stands as a financial anchor dragging both parties into conflict. Part 3 dissected the thorny issue of ownership, with the car titled in Ms. Lau's name but possessed by Mr. Pierce, who claims it's been parked while he makes payments. The unpaid taxes of $1,286.67 remain a flashpoint, with Ms. Lau insisting it's not her burden. Now the focus shifts to the devastating financial repercussions of their joint decision to co-buy the vehicle, particularly the damage to Ms. Lau's credit score due to Mr. Pierce's late payments. Judge Judy's voice cuts through the tension. He's being late on his payment, and now my credit is being affected, Ms. Lau laments. As the judge's sharp reasoning unravels the mess, the audience is gripped by a saga of shared loans and shattered trust, wondering how deep the financial wounds run. The financial fallout for Ms. Lau is stark. Her credit score, once a respectable 680, has plummeted to the low 500s, a direct result of Mr. Pierce's tardy loan payments. That's the problem now, she says, her voice heavy with frustration. He's being late on his payment, and now my credit is being affected. This isn't just a number, it's a barrier to her future. In Hartford, where renting an apartment or securing a loan often requires a solid credit history, Ms. Luo faces real-world consequences. She recounts a recent attempt to register a new car, only to find her payment diverted to the Explorer's unpaid taxes, a $1,286.67 debt she didn't expect. It went towards the Ford Explorer, not towards my car, she explains, her tone betraying a sense of betrayal. Judge Judy nods, clarifying, they increased it from $1,032 to $1,286 because it wasn't paid. The audience murmurs, feeling the weight of her predicament. Mr. Pierce, however, sees himself as the responsible party, albeit imperfectly. I've been paying it, he insists, referring to the loan, though he admits late payments. The Ford Explorer, purchased for $40,000, still carries a $28,000 balance, a hefty obligation for a delivery driver juggling multiple vehicles. His claim that the SUV has been parked, unused, since 2017 draws skepticism from Judge Judy. Don't believe that, she snaps. You're not making payments on a car that you or your girlfriend don't drive. The mention of a girlfriend, a detail that surfaced unexpectedly, adds a twist, suggesting Mr. Pierce's life has moved on, yet he's tethered to this shared debt. His insurance with Allstate covers the Explorer, and he confirms paying it. But the late loan payments have ripple effects, harming Ms. Luo's financial standing. The loan itself is a trap neither can easily escape. Judge Judy explains, both of you are on the loan. They're not going to let her off the loan. The bank, holding the title due to the outstanding balance, has no incentive to release Ms. Lau without full repayment or a court order. Binds her to Mr. Pierce's financial decisions, a reality she resents. If he stops making payments, they're going to come after both of you. Judge Judy warns, her tone grave. For Ms. Luo, a single mother working as a retail manager, the prospect of repossession or legal action is daunting. Her attempt to register a new car was thwarted when the DMV applied her payment to the Explorer's taxes, a bureaucratic snag. That cost her time and money. I wasn't going to pay the Ford, she says, her frustration palpable. I was going to pay the car that I had. The financial stakes are grounded in Connecticut's regulatory framework. Car taxes, tied to biennial registration, accrue penalties when unpaid, as seen in the Explorer's $1,286.67 debt. Mr. Pierce's failure to register the vehicle, which expired in May 2019, exacerbated the issue. I can't register it, he claims, citing the title in Ms. Lau's name. Only a judge's court order would take her off. Judge Judy counters, it can still be registered. All you have to do is pay the money. Her pragmatism highlights the couple's failure to coordinate, a failure rooted in their fractured relationship. Ms. Lau's claim that notices were sent to Mr. Pierce's address, everything was sent to him, underscores their communication. Breakdown, leaving her blindsided by the tax debt. Creatively, imagine Ms. Lau at the Hartford DMV, her children waiting in the car as she learns her payment won't clear her new vehicle's registration. Picture Mr. Pierce, exhausted after a delivery shift, glancing at the Explorer in his driveway, its unused state a reminder of his stalled life with Ms. Lau. These moments, though not in the transcript, humanize their struggle, making the financial toll relatable. The courtroom, with its packed gallery and Judge Judy's commanding presence, amplifies the drama. Her admonition, "That's why people don't buy cars together when they're not married," resonates as a universal truth, while her quip, "Does this face look stupid to you?" keeps the audience engaged. The case's financial stakes: credit damage, unpaid taxes, and a looming loan mirror the risks of shared purchases without legal commitment. As Part 4 closes, the financial wounds are laid bare, but resolution remains elusive. Will Ms. Lau's credit ever recover from Mr. Pierce's late payments? Can Mr. Pierce afford to clear the taxes and maintain the loan, or is he stretched too thin? The audience is hooked, eager for Judge Judy's verdict. Share your thoughts below. Do you think Ms. Lau deserves compensation for the credit damage? Or should Mr. Pierce be excused since he's been paying the loan? Comment 1 for Ms. Lau, 0 for Mr. Pierce. The Judge Judy courtroom in Hartford, Connecticut, is charged with anticipation as the saga of Ms. Lau and Mr. Pierce's 2017 Ford Explorer draws to its climax. The black SUV, once a beacon of family unity, has become a financial and emotional quagmire, binding the former couple in a web of unpaid taxes and a $28,000 loan. Part 4 exposed the devastating impact on Ms. Lau's credit score, tarnished by Mr. Pierce's late payments and the bureaucratic tangle of the car's registration. Now, the focus turns to Judge Judy's final verdict and the broader lesson this case imparts: the perils of intertwining finances without a legal commitment. As Judge Judy's gavel hovers, her voice cuts through the tension. That's why people don't buy cars together when they're not married. The audience, riveted by the couple's missteps, awaits her ruling, eager for clarity and the moral takeaway from this cautionary tale. Judge Judy's verdict is swift and decisive. Addressing the $1,286.67 in unpaid car taxes, she rules in Ms. Lau's favor. "Mr. Pierce, you have to pay for the registration," she declares, her tone unwavering. Judgment for the plaintiff. The amount, clarified earlier as $1,286.67, rather than Ms. Lau's initial $2,000 claim, reflects the precise tax debt accrued due to Mr. Pierce's neglect. Since he has possessed the car since their 2017 breakup, whether driving it, as Ms. C. Lau insists, or parking it, as he claims the responsibility falls squarely on him. "You have the car," Judge Judy states. "It's in his possession." Her ruling hinges on this fact. Possession implies accountability, and Mr. Pierce's failure to pay the taxes has unfairly burdened Ms. Lau, whose name remains on the FAOA title. The judge also addresses the registration issue, urging cooperation. "You have to cooperate with him in registering the car," she tells Ms. Lau, noting that the title in her name requires her involvement. However, Ms. Luo's reluctance stemming from Mr. Pierce's failure to notify her of DMV notices highlights their communication breakdown. Everything was sent to his house, she protests. He never notified me. Judge Judy, unimpressed, advises, I suggest you go to motor vehicles, cutting through the excuses. The audience nods, recognizing that practical steps not grudges are needed to resolve the issue. Mr. Pierce, for his part, acknowledges the challenge. I can't register it. The title's under her. Yet Judge Judy's solution is pragmatic. Pay the taxes, cooperate, and move forward. The broader financial entanglement, however, remains unresolved. The $28,000 loan, binding both parties, is a burden Judge Judy cannot lift. They're not going to let her off the loan, she explains, referring to the bank's refusal to release Ms. Luo without full repayment or a court order. Her warning to Mr. Pierce is stark. If you stop making payments, they're going to come after both of you. Ms. Luo's fear, he's being late on his payment, and now my credit is being affected, underscores the ongoing risk to her. Financial stability. Judge Judy's frustration peaks as she reflects on their decision to co-buy the car. It's crazy to buy something that's so expensive when you haven't formed a family, she says. Ridiculous. Her words resonate, a universal admonition against impulsive financial ventures. The lesson of this case is the heart of its impact. Judge Judy's repeated refrain, that's why people don't buy cars together when they're not married, is more than a quip. It's a warning etched in the couple's regret. Ms. Luo, a retail manager and single mother, faces a tarnished credit score and unexpected tax debts, all because she trusted Mr. Pierce to manage their shared purchase. Mr. Pierce, a delivery driver stretched thin by multiple vehicles and late payments, is equally trapped, his promises to handle the taxes unfulfilled. The announcer's line, being co-buyers wasn't so smart, echoes as a succinct summary of their folly. The audience, absorbed by the drama, sees their own potential missteps reflected in this cautionary tale. Creatively, picture Ms. Luo leaving the courtroom, her relief at the $1,286.67 judgment, tempered by the looming loan. Imagine Mr. Pierce, back in Hartford, staring at the Ford Explorer in his driveway, its dusty exterior a reminder of his financial bind. These moments, though not in the transcript, add emotional depth, grounding the verdict in human experience. The courtroom, with its packed gallery and Judge Judy's commanding presence, amplifies the stakes. Her humor, does this face look stupid to you? Keeps viewers engaged, while her wisdom ensures the lesson lingers. In Connecticut, where car taxes and registration are routine, the case's specifics, biennial fees, penalties, and DMV hurdles make it relatable, a mirror to everyday financial risks. As the case concludes, Judge Judy's gavel falls with finality. We're done here. Goodbye, she says, dismissing the parties. The audience exhales, satisfied by the resolution, but sobered by the lesson. Ms. Luo's victory is partial. The loan's shadow looms, a reminder of her entangled past with Mr. Pierce. For viewers, the case is a stark reminder to avoid shared purchases without legal safeguards. Share your thoughts below. Do you think Judge Judy's ruling was fair? Or should Ms. Luo have fought for more? Comment 1 for Ms. Luo, 0 for Mr. Pierce.
For the
Excuse
plaintiff,
me,
we're done
miss?
here. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.